Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. So, I'm sitting here in my living room contemplating something my husband and I discussed this morning. I thought I would bring you guys in on the action a little bit. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I live in Cleveland, and in Cleveland, we're about to get a crazy polar vortex weather temperature drop. It's about to get to negative 15 at night. And as many of you know, I have a problem with that when it comes to my chickens. To give you a little backstory, I love my chickens, and you know I love my chickens. They're like my pets. I have all kinds of pets, so I love taking care of them. But I personally screwed up at the very beginning of this chicken process 3 years ago. I went really cheap on their chicken coops. So when I got this house, there was this little makeshift greenhouse pen. I think the old owner had chickens for a little bit, and they raised like guinea fowl or something, and it was basically wood in a square box. I used that for a little bit and it was okay, but it's just not ideal for a chicken coop. So then I went and bought a $200 very small, very cheap chicken coop from China. As many of you can imagine, it's not so great. It doesn't retain any heat. One of my chickens got frostbite last winter, so it's not so great. I need to do something about that. So taking you into this winter, I decided to make the little makeshift pen a greenhouse. I did that over the spring, and then I just moved the chickens into my greenhouse, and they've been okay there because when the sun comes out, the greenhouse has been retaining almost 10 degrees warmer, but it's literally just the clear sheeting on the outside. So negative 15, it'll probably still be negative 10. So that's a problem in my mind. I know chickens are pretty hardy, and I have Barred Rocks, I have Rhode Island Red, I have a Dominique, and I have a Buff. So they're good hardy birds, but I still worry about them. And I literally would not sleep at night if I didn't do something. So that brings you to today. I'm going to move my chickens into the garage. Yeah. And I'm going to build a makeshift pen in my garage for the chickens for the next week. But now we're in my garage. See? Here's my garage. This is where I'm moving the chickens. It's definitely warmer in the garage. But there are definitely complications in the garage because there are tools and dangerous objects in the garage. So I'm not going to let them just go free range willy-nilly in the garage, because the last thing I need is an injury in the middle of a polar vortex. I also forgot to mention to you, the budget for this project is $0. Because work has been a little slow for me lately, and I would prefer not to spend any money. So I'm going to have to get really creative with this little project. I'm going to start with a dog cage and some random things, some fencing that I have left over from a project, and some other things that I use for craft shows, actually, because I don't think I'm doing craft shows anymore. So I'm going to kind of let this run while I'm futzing around so you guys can kind of see what the hell I'm doing. All right, so I'll let it go. It's official. The chickens are now in the garage. I made them a little pen / coop / I don't know. And I think they're going to stay in here for a little bit, maybe even for the remainder of the winter. I've been really stressed lately about these chickens. They're like my little babies. So we will see how this happens. Figured I'll show you what it looks like in the end. The chickens are officially in the garage. I have this little white tarp on top. So here's the dog cage. And then I put the fencing around it to extend it to give them more room. I also gave them a little rod. These are painting sticks
that you use to paint the ceiling with for their perches. I also put that little thing there for them to jump on in case they get bored. I don't know. What the hell? They don't seem to be minding it. They're a little confused, I think, how they're grouped together. But they got their food, their water is heated, got plenty of straw, and I can give them more. So, we did it.